What do I believe? Do I believe that life happens to me, or do I believe that life happens for me? And she said, Marissa, yes, we are poor, but you have a choice. You can be a victim or you can be victorious. What will you choose? For the love of God, do not walk into that room and say, well, I think maybe this might work for you. No, you say, hell yeah, I know what I'm doing. And let me tell you what problem I'm here to solve for you today.
Hey, on episode 362, we are talking about self-belief, overcoming challenges, and the power of positive thinking in business and life. You're going to hear how my guest, this entrepreneur, went from living in a trailer park to owning and running multiple seven-figure businesses. What's up, my friend? Welcome to this episode of the show. I'm Ryan Coral from Studio Sherpas and the Grow Your Video Business podcast. That is this show where we talk about the business of video production. So if you're in the corporate or commercial space, you're doing video, you want to do it better, you want to grow your team, or you want to charge more, or you want to take more money home after a project is all said and done. If you just want to do this work and be more fulfilled and feel like you're living out your purpose, I think you're in the right spot. So welcome. And this episode is one of my favorites. I've done a lot of episodes, but I would say that this is definitely, out of the 360 something episodes we've done, this is in the top 10. I might go as far as saying top 5. It was a really powerful conversation. I took a lot of notes and was really, really inspired. So you're going to be in for a treat. If you're new here, I would like to tell you about a workshop that I offer. It's a completely free workshop that you get because you're a listener of the show. It is my 6-figure filmmaker workshop where I share with you my 3 biggest tips. If I were to start my business over, if I was to rewind 19 years and start this production business over, I share with you some myths, some things that I believed, and I think some of these myths you might believe. And then I share my top 3 things that I would do. And so I want you to have that. You can get access to that workshop if you go to studiosherpas.com/workshop. And I hope that you can learn from some of my mistakes and just know that these are things that I'm either doing today or I have done in my business. So I'm not just saying like, oh yeah, this would be a good idea. This is like, I'm running a production business today. I have multiple employees. We have a studio and we're really doing it. So these are things that I think are valuable and can help you in this work. studiosherpas.com/workshop to get access to that thing. All right, now let's get into one of my favorite episodes ever. Here we go. What's up, friends? Hey, welcome to another episode of the show. Today with me is Marissa Nielsen, who is a money and business strategist who has founded 7 multi-figure organizations. No big deal. That's amazing. Marissa, so good to have you on the show. Welcome.
Hi, how's it going? I'm so glad to be here in the house with you. It's been, we should have started this recording like 30 minutes ago when we started just hanging out. It was cool.
Lots of, yeah. And that's, essentially the show. I always tell my guests like, hey, it's just like we're hanging out. I'm like, oh, if we're just hanging out. You and I started hanging out from the very beginning when I was having tech issues. And yes, so now we're like best friends and this is great.
It's so good. Well, I'm super excited to be here with you. I'm super excited to serve your audience today. So let's rock and roll. Let's go figure some stuff out and apply.
let's figure all the things out. So you were mentioned in Mike Kim's book, which is how I heard about you, and pretty much anybody that Mike has introduced me to or that Mike talks about and holds in high regard, I have found those people to be incredibly inspiring, and the pressure is on for you to just kind of live up to my expectations.
Oh, cool. Well, good. Then I guess I better set the bar high here today. Yeah, Mike is a good friend of mine. He's an amazing entrepreneur. He's done really well to serve his community and really serve the world. Yeah. He brings such an incredible voice of opportunity for people to grow and learn and build businesses that are strong and get their messages out. So I love that guy, and any friend of Mike's is a friend of mine. So there you go. Hey, all right.
There we go. Well, I want to get right into this idea of the mindset of we could say a creative, but like, let's get really focused here because just of who our audience is. the mindset of a creative filmmaker, and my hand is raised because I remember when I first started my business almost 20 years ago, and my beliefs about money and about trying to take this practice, this work that was creative, and to go corporate, to go commercial with it, and to really feel like, part of me felt like I was selling out if I wanted to charge more than just a day rate. And what have you learned about money and our mindset, and specifically the mindset of, somebody like me who didn't really believe I could really charge what I was worth, or really the value of what a video is that we could deliver to a business or whoever?
Yeah, it's a great question. I coach and speak and train on this for many years. I've had 30 years of finance industry experience. My very first company, I started with $5 from the basement of my home, a financial services organization that is an 8-figure debt-free company with
Oh my gosh, amazing.
clients in 43 states today. And I don't say that to impress you. I say that to impress upon you, because I grew up in the trailer courts. I grew up in the trailer courts with my mom, 8 kids, no heat in a North Dakota winter. And here's where I'm going to start with mindset. The first question I'm going to ask you is this, and you want to write this down. You want to take this down. You want to tape this sucker to your bathroom mirror. You want to tape it to your computer. You want to tape it to multiple places in your house, and ask yourself this question: what do I believe? Do I believe that life happens to me, or do I believe that life happens for me? Because when you believe that life happens to you, then all those bad experiences or those no's that you get, or the situation that you're currently dealing with today, whatever those conditions and circumstances are, then we're not open to really what your creator is saying about you. And if you're a creative, that creation comes from someplace. Right? Comes from someplace. And I want more of that to flow to me, so it can flow through me to the people I love, and where I want it to go, and where I want it to grow. See, I don't want it just to go somewhere. I want it to grow somewhere. And that's not like some crappy tagline you put on a coffee cup. That's like real life stuff for me, right? Like, I'm being real. You got the real life of Marissa Nielsen behind the scenes.
Yes.
Yeah. CEO and all, you got it. But, Here's what I'd share with you is that when you're asking that question about, it's a belief system, do you believe that the world needs you rich? Do you believe that the world needs you rich? So I believe that the world needs me rich emotionally. I need to be rich for me when I look in the mirror. I don't want to look in the mirror and look in the mirror like I did when I was going through a divorce. And go, man, you're 50 pounds overweight. You hate your life. Your husband's cheating on you. Everything's falling apart. You're probably going to lose your business because people are going to find out, and you're serving in the church, and you're blah, 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 blah. All the story you tell yourself when you look in the mirror is your emotional side. Then there's the relationship side. Now, that was also in the crapper at the time. Can I say crapper, by the way? You probably want to edit that out. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Let me bleep that real quick.
Bleep!
It's been a lot worse on this show before, so that one's actually pretty safe here.
All right, cool. So, at that point there, then you're just like, man, my relationships are junk. My kids were struggling. Stuff was happening. And I'm like, what do you do? Emotionally, relationally, spiritually, I needed to be connected to something beyond myself. And I'm a person of faith, so just, take a pill. I'm not here to convert you. I'm just telling my story. Okay, so just everyone relax.
Take a pill, Jesus.
But sorry, I am probably, you're gonna have to edit probably 3/4 of this. I'm sorry, but here's what I share with people about this. All of these things are connected, and your mindset is connected to all of the things I'm about to share with you. Emotionally, relationally, spiritually, physically, financially, all of it. How you feel about yourself, how you look in the mirror, what you do daily, these small actions, these small habits that we take over time create great change. So small actions that are taken over time create great change. And that also happens to do with your mind and your money. And it is an absolute connection. Now, that does not to say that if you're rich, like wealthy, like money-wise, that you have it together. Because I've met a lot of really rich people that are completely broken, completely messed up, chasing the wrong things. But I've met some, and I am one today, that I approach life in a completely different way. And it's why I'm doing what I do today, because I really, really want to help other people live in freedom. Freedom emotionally, relationally, spiritually, physically, financially, so that they can live their very best life. And when you're looking at your business today and you're saying, God, I don't even know what to charge. I don't know where to start. Like, and what should I be charging? And I always bring that back to the outcome you produce for your client or your customer. What value do you bring to the table? What problem do you solve, and what value would you attach in your business to that? The bigger the problem you solve, the more you make.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get really, really good at being a solution seeker, so every person that you're touching in your business today, every contact that you have, and I know that this has been a tough season for people in production like you, right? Like this is a tough season. I was talking to one of my dear friends. He has a studio in West Palm Beach, Florida. And he said, man, with the wave of people, and he was telling himself, he went through like a 30-minute wave of telling himself all these stories about why he wasn't making money today. And I asked him a question. I said, hey man, can I just stop you for a second? Because it was painful. Like literally, at this point, I wanted to gouge out my own eardrums. I'm like, oh my God, like get the can of like aerosol and spray that stuff down. I don't want to catch it, you know? And I mean that with a great deal of love to him. I love this guy. I love him.
Yeah.
But I said, listen, if that's the story you're telling yourself, you're going to continue to struggle. Yeah. What I want you to repeat after me is this. I am the answer to someone's prayer. I am the storyteller that can get out the message, that can create the motivation, the donation, the presentation that these people want to show up, putting their best self first. And I am the guy that can do that. I am the guy. I was given that gift and talent. It pours through me and flows to whoever that person is on the other side of that conversation. You want your business to grow? Begin to think every boardroom, every meeting room, every Zoom call, every presentation, every time you get in front of a prospective client, for the love of God, do not walk into that room and say, well, I think maybe this might work for you. No, you say, hell yeah, I know what I'm doing. And let me tell you what problem I'm here to solve for you today. Because when you solve a problem, people are willing to pay you to solve a problem. They are absolutely willing to pay you to solve a problem. And the bigger the problem you solve, the bigger the paycheck you get. Now, I'm going to go back here really quick because this does not come overnight. This started for me at 14 years old. I grew up with my mom in a 2-bedroom trailer house. My folks had divorced. My dad was really, really struggling with some stuff. And in the middle of the night, he shot a hole with a shotgun through the ceiling, lined us all up, and was going to kill us. Right? So not exactly a great start if you're going to start your, like childhood. There was definitely some childhood memories that were great. A lot of them really sucked. But here's that perspective question again, mindset. Did life happen to me? Or did it happen for me? So when you replay the past, even the past client that you're working with today, and you say, well, I had that contract, but now I lost it because the economy's bad and this is happening. Whatever story you tell yourself, what your focus is on is where your energy is flowing. And where your energy flows, your time, your money, your life goes. And that will be a distraction or it will be a direction for you. What are you focusing on? Is it a distraction or is it a direction for what you want, what you must do? So my mom, we're watching one of them little Save the Children deals. Depending on the audience, like age here, you probably don't remember this, but we used to have these TVs with bunny rabbit ears. Okay. And those, because we were super poor, right? And somebody gave us this old black and white TV. We were watching this thing at 1:00 in the morning. Everything came off the news, but right off TV, because we didn't have 24-hour TV and we definitely didn't have more than 3 channels. Yeah. So we're watching the Save the Children thing. I look up at my mom. Now, my mom is laying on a dumpster dive couch we have pulled out of the dumpster. Brown, nasty, disgusting, right? And she had pounded nails into the walls, and we had hung towels and blankets and quilts and those type of things into the living room. And we built like this little place in the living room, and we had an old kerosene lantern that heated that living room, which, there's a God, because otherwise I should be dead right now just by what I inhaled. We should all be dead. But we had to stay warm. It's like 50 stinking below in North Dakota, right? Like 50 below in the winter is ugly. And so, but is that or dead? And I figure Mom made a good choice. So we're laying around this kerosene heat. All the kids are asleep. I look up at my mom and I said, Mom, we're like those poor people you see on TV, but we're not just poor. We're like super poor, because those people have food and we don't even have food. And she looked at me, and my mother's literally, for all of you who have children, man, the things that what you say to your kids right now today, it sticks. And you might say something today that will carry them through the rest of their life. This is my mother's finest moment for me. Now, she's had other great moments since then. Mom, if you're listening, sorry. But this one here, turning point. Yeah. And she said, Marissa, yes, we are poor, but you have a choice. You can be a victim or you can be victorious. What will you choose? So I'm going to ask you about that for your business today. What will you choose? Who's depending on you? Who are you the answer to someone's prayer for today, because they need to tell the story in a different way that's so impactful, and they cannot do it without you? Your business exists to solve a problem with a purpose-driven outcome. And as you connect the outcome they want to achieve to a price point, you will make more money in your business, and you will have repeat clients, and they will refer clients. I haven't actually paid for marketing in my biggest company today. This is the one where I'm getting, like $1 million quarterly K1 distributions, which just means it's a profit distribution if you're not a business person, right?
Yeah.
I have not paid for marketing in that business. Now, when I say that, I've paid for a lot of storytelling, right? Yeah. But I'm not running a newspaper ad.
Right.
I'm telling stories about the outcome that this client wants to achieve. And as part of that conversation, when you're campaigning to say, this is why you want to hire me, at the end of the day, it's because you are absolutely positive you solve a problem. So when you go in there, you better be balls to the wall. I can solve this problem. And let me tell you, whatever it is, we're doing it today. We're moving.
I wish you had like a little bit more confidence.
Yeah. Well, I've been working on it. I read a self-help book a time or two. It was good.
Oh, Marissa. Wow. I mean, come on. I don't think I've taken so many notes in such a short amount of time on a podcast episode before. I even have my sticky note I just put on the monitor here. Oh, man. Does life happen to you or for you? That's beautiful. I love what your mom said to you. That is incredible. Super, super powerful.
Yeah. We can be legacy leaders in our family. That's the season I'm in today, is really helping people understand their mindset and their money and take practical, tactical strategy action. Like, all strategy is, and we think it's got to be this big fancy thing. The easiest way, and I share it with many of the people I work with every day, that you got to have a strategy, and then you got to work that plan, right? You've got to develop that plan. And one of the questions I ask is, what do you have? What do you already have? What are you uniquely qualified to teach, speak, or train on? And then you double down on that sucker. And then you go find people that have a problem, and you uniquely solve that problem for them. So I was talking with someone just recently, and I said, here's the question for you. What outcome do you want to achieve? And they said, man, I don't really know. And I said, well, until we set a target, then how the heck you know where you're going? Then you just get in the car and drive all the way aimlessly, right? But if we know where we're going, and as a family, I'm doing my big fat Greek wedding family right now. So everybody lives together. Nice. I bought this big, huge house in St. Petersburg, Florida. So it's like 6,000 square feet, and you get a suite, and you get a suite, and you get a suite. Yeah. I felt like Oprah Winfrey with my family. It was really fun. But my son is a single dad. And I am a grandma of a 3-year-old and 4-year-old. And every night I get to rock them to sleep, sing them stories. And I tell them stories about who they're going to be. I sing them stories about who they're going to be. Right? And I sing the other stuff too. They get Jesus Loves Me and they get all the little, nursery rhyme stuff. But these ones here, they're like, Grandma, sing it again. So you can influence everyone around you, but you must first start with you because you cannot give what you don't have. And so I'm going to ask you, what's the first thing you do in the morning? What's the first thing you focus on in the morning? Every presentation prior to coming to this with you today, this morning I got up. Now, I went and did a little research, right? I'm looking you up and looking on your website. I'm looking at you and your really nice family. That goofy pic of you guys, that was awesome, by the way. It was so good on your website. On your About Me page, that's so good.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at this stuff and I'm like, and I'm literally visualizing. Before I got here, I saw your face. Before I got there, here's what I said to myself. And take a deep breath when I say this, okay? Because I use the word prayer. Just everyone's freaking out. And I'm praying over this moment. And I'm like, okay, help me to show up and serve. Because when you show up and serve and you stop selling and you start serving, that's when everything changes in your business. When you stop selling and you start serving and you say, how do I best serve you? How do I best serve your audience? How do I best serve the people that you want to work with? So if you're working with an organization today and they say, I need your help because I want to do a video on X or I want to run this campaign on Y, great. What outcome do you want to achieve with that? Because if you don't have a measurable for them, you're not getting hired back. And you want what I call repeat offenders, right? You want these people coming back over and over and over again, only your system is a good one, right? That's a little political joke in case anyone was wondering, a little political joke. Okay. And part of that is you have to visualize that. I visualized the front columns on my house 10,000 times before I walked into here with my family. I went to a place in Ohio and this, he had all the airspace for Ohio, telecommunication airspace years ago. He bought up all these airspace. And so then when cell phone towers came in, they had to buy the space from this guy. Well, now he's like a gazillionaire. Like he's more than a billionaire. He's like whatever comes after a billionaire, he's a gazillionaire.
My goodness.
Yeah. So I went to his house. And when I say house, this entire huge compound where he had built houses for all of his children and all of his grandchildren. And they have a community center that he built in the middle of it with a community pool on the inside. And I said, where did that come from? He said, I visualized it 10,000 times. The world around me was falling apart. I knew that I wanted our values, our community, our world to be a safe place for me and my family. I wanted to build legacy land. I wanted this territory that I occupied to be so full of a legacy plan that would generationally last. I needed a place that's what it was known for. If you go to this place in Berlin, Ohio, it's incredible. Anyway, but I had to go see it because I was like, I got to go see that because then it gave me the idea for my family. What do you need to see today? That's the second question I'd ask your people. What do you need to see today? Who do you need to get around? Who do you need to have as an accountability partner for your mindset? Who do you need to have as an accountability partner for your money-making decisions? That's a hard one. I know everybody hates me now. They're shutting off, but that's a big one because when you think about your financials, we make decisions every day that are either a distraction or a direction of where we're going. And if you haven't set a target, how do you know where you're going? So yeah, I can go on and on about that piece because this is the stuff I love. How do you build a good, solid, income producing, revenue stream building opportunity for passive income? There are 8 streams of income and you must have a freedom plan. The freedom plan does 3 things, by the way. You want to write this one down because if you're working with anybody in finance, legal, tax, insurance, any of those kind of folks today, the first question I'd ask you is, when's the last time your accountant, attorney, financial advisor, insurance guy, banker, your people got in the same room and talked about your plan? And if they haven't, then we have a problem, because it's like walking into an operating room with just the surgeon. Well, that's going to hurt like hell when they cut into you and there's no anesthesia, right? Like, I would like the anesthesiologist to at least meet me prior to putting me under, because I know heart surgery is going to suck without that guy or that gal. Yes or yes? Yes or yes? Yeah. Okay. So now that we've cleared that part up, we got to get our teams working together for us. And as you're thinking about your financial world, there are 3 things that I love to talk about in the freedom world, the freedom space. The first one is creating a freedom plan. And that consists of 3 things: your freedom number, your freedom resources, or freedom sources you're going to create, and a freedom date. Because once you get to that place, when you can say, I can show up today and I get to say who, what, when, and where in my day. I don't want to do it, not doing it. Unless it's like, divine intervention. No means no, baby. Like, it's either a yes or it's a no. It's a yes or it's a no. It's a relationship or it's not. It's a build in that impact and influencing way that I want, or it's a no. And so when you think about your freedom plan, there are 5 questions you want to ask yourself and those people. Why? Why must I do it? Why are we doing it? Why is this even important? There's 7 levels to each of these questions. I'm only going to give you a few today because we don't have time. But what needs to be done? Who can help me? Who can help me? As much as I'd love to say I know everything about everything, I sure don't. And I need people. Who's my who? How comes from your who. Who do you know that's got an answer to a problem? And how do we solve that problem? And then when? When will we take action? When will we do it? Now, if you're asking your clients those same 5 questions, by the way, you will dominate the industry you're in. You will dominate, because they aren't asked those questions by people in your industry. What they're saying is, what do you want me to do today? Right? No, absolutely. Paint me the picture of the why behind this, because if I know that, and then I know what needs to be done, what outcome do we need to achieve here, then I know who can help us, then I know how we'll do it together, and then I know when this will take place. And it's all measurable. Every single one of these areas is measurable. Emotionally, relationally, spiritually, physically, financially, it's all measurable. So when you're thinking about creating your freedom plan for your life, for your family, for why are you doing this in the first place, right? It all comes back to that first level of it starts with you. And how you see that problem is the problem.
Wow. How you see the problem. Yeah. I mean, man, so much of so much of my problem forever. And, anybody who's listened to the show for, more than an episode, they probably think like, wow, Ryan's got a lot of problems.
Welcome to my world. Yeah. Well, listen to my show. You'll be like, wow, she is messed up. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah.
But what's so amazing, and I can look back on all the years, anytime I've taken a big stride in my business, anytime I've overcome something in my personal life, in my marriage, with my kids, with friends, with family, any of that stuff, it's not because of something that I said or did. It's something that I believed. Mm-hmm. Right? It was something that happened in my head or my heart that changed the way that I think about that situation. And I think what I'm hearing you say is that, whatever money challenges or problems or whatever it is that we have, so much of that is based on what we think about it. Mm-hmm. And if we can apply a proven process, we could probably overcome a lot of what we've just assumed is this is just the way it is. And this is the way it goes.
Yeah. If you've ever said, I just don't have enough, or I just can't because, I'm going to ask you a different question. What can you do? I know all the reasons why you can't, because you gave me those. Yeah. And you've been rolling them around in your head for like 20 minutes, right?
Yeah.
But what can you do? What do you have? Who do you know? What action can you take? How could I use this differently? So one option is no option. Two options is a dilemma. Three or more is where I play. So if you bring me this is where my team, this is just Marissa Nielsen business 101. Okay.
Yep.
So when I have team members and we're doing meetings and they're saying, okay, this is our big challenge. This is our situation. This is the obstacle, call it whatever you want, problem. Okay, great. What do we have? Who do we know? What can we use? When has something similar like this happened in the past? What did we learn?
Yeah.
How can we course correct quickly? Whatever that situation is. And when you think about with your business today, this mindset piece, I talk a lot about mindset, but I think there's two parts to mindset. You cannot, spoiler alert for all of you who have read this book, okay? Spoiler alert, ready? You cannot just think and grow rich. It's total crap. That's junk. You cannot just think and grow rich. You cannot. You cannot. There are two parts to this. You think and then you do something, right? You think and then you take action. You think into the situation, the challenge, the whatever it is I'm going through today, and then you take action. I am fighting with my spouse. I think about that all day long when I'm at work. But what could I do to make that an entirely different situation when I got home? What question could I ask? What book could I read? What podcast could I listen to? What way could I connect? What do they love? What are the things that I know, 20 years ago, if you've been married for 20 years, warmed their heart? What are the things that light them on fire, that light them up, that when you walk in the door, you are now a hero, not a zero? What's the text you could send them in the middle of the day? What's the video text? Really, if you do not send a video text in your industry, y'all are all fired. I'm just, just teasing. Yep. But we get so busy in our day that we don't think about what we do have. We think about what we don't have. Now, one of the things I highly recommend people do is they start with a gratitude journal. It's 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night. What are you grateful for? And here's the question I ask on this. If it was gone tomorrow, that thing that you did not write down today, would you miss it? If they were gone tomorrow and you did not write their name down today, would you miss them? So those are good indications of how we live a rich life, because we can give them an opportunity to say, maybe that 15 minutes that I take and I send a text to my kids or my spouse or my mom or my best friend or whoever it is, I start my day intentionally every single day. And how you start your day, literally, I want all of hell to shake up when I wake up in the morning. I want them to go, oh crap, she's up, because I'm bringing my water pistols. I'm going to charge the gates of hell. I'm bringing your money back. I'm bringing your life back. I'm bringing your marriage back. I'm bringing it all back. We're taking it back, because for far too long, we listen to all the negative stuff around us. And I'm going to ask you, how does that serve you? How does it serve you? Does that get you more of what you want or less of what you want? Does it bring you closer in the direction of your dreams, or does it totally screw up your day? Yeah. Anyway, okay. So Marissa Nielsen, how I start my day.
Oh, Marissa, I wish you had a full day to just record. This is so good. Whatever you did this morning, whatever things you said or thought about, it worked. This has been fantastic. I'm really, really excited to share this. I wonder if I could, how soon can I get this to my people? Thank you. Man, I'm just welcome. Grateful for your story, the things, the struggles that you've had, right? You're able to speak the way that you are today because of the struggle and through all of that. So sucks, but I'm grateful for that, because of what we're able to receive today because of all of that. It's beautiful. What an incredible story. What a gift. For those, and I'm sure it's going to be a lot of people that would like to follow up with you, understand what else you do, what are some ways that they could connect with you?
Yeah. Well, I have a podcast called Live Life Rich. You can find me on that every week. And I talk about basically what I'm talking about with you today. I also give practical, tactical, money, business, just all sorts of different things inside of that podcast. I have a free gift for you today. That'll be listed in the link below here because it's got a ridiculously long URL. Hate those things. I'm like, can't you just make this easy? Like, go Marissa, and there you go. But apparently that's not a thing. So, okay, fine. So if you click that link below, there is a 90-day roadmap in there. So if you're looking to reset, and by the way, your 90-day does not need to start on a January 1st or at the beginning of a quarter. Your 90-day starts whatever day you started. And so if you say, I want something better for my life, not more, because more is not better. Better is better, guys. If you want something better, this is a great way to start. This isn't taking more on. This is making space, because the right thing cannot enter the space that the wrong thing is occupying. And we need to make space for this. We must. So I'd love to connect with you. I do have a website, Marissa Nielsen.com. You can find me there. There's a bunch of free resources there for you. Help yourself. Enjoy every bit of it. And hope to see you in my podcast world. Thank you for letting me be part of yours today. It was an honor to be here and to be able to serve you. And if in any way something comes out of there that's good for you, just bless you with it, and hope that you take it and multiply that. Just multiply it.
Yes. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm feeling super inspired. And this is coming off for my friends that know that I went to Uganda. This is the first thing. Like I got back yesterday. This is the first like work thing, and I'm like, wow, this is so good. So I'm fired up. Really, really just appreciate your spirit and in all of this stuff. Thank you. This is great. Really, really awesome meeting you, and I do look forward to the next time that we get to hang out like this.
You're welcome, and thank you for having me. Have a great day.
Hey, thank you for hanging with me on this episode. Super good to have you. If you liked this episode, let me know. I want to know what you like, what you don't like. If there's a takeaway, if you had an aha moment, you can shoot me an email. It's ryan@studiosherpas.com. If you're watching this video, leave a comment, like it, share it. Let me know what your big takeaway was. Love reading those, seeing those, hearing those. Super, that is good for my soul. And if there's things that you think could be better or people you want on the show, please make a suggestion. Let me know who they are. And that would be amazing. If you like this episode, please share it with a friend. Take a screen grab right now. Hit send or the upload button or whatever that is, and get that over to your friend that you think might get something out of this. Okay, I think I'm good for now. I will see you on next week's episode. Until then, keep on climbing. You are not alone. Talk to you really soon. See ya.